Libra, let me ask you something, and answer this honestly. Have you felt it lately? That quiet shift inside you, not loud, not dramatic, but different. It's like people are looking at you longer now, listening more closely, treating you differently, and you don't even know why. You didn't announce anything, you didn't prove anything, yet something about you changed, and they can't ignore it anymore. If you've been wondering why doors feel closer to opening, why conversations suddenly carry weight, why your presence feels heavier in a room, this message found you for a reason. Libra, this isn't about becoming someone new. It's about something in you finally turning back on. Stay with me, and as you listen, notice what resonates. Drop a comment if this hits close to home, and trust yourself, because we're just stepping into the real story now. Libra, stay with me for a moment, not as a listener, as you. I want you to imagine this like we are sitting across from each other late in the evening when the world finally quiets down. No noise, no expectations, just honesty. There is something about the way you have been carrying yourself lately. You might not even realize it yet, but I can feel it. The pauses in your thoughts are different. Your silence has weight now. Even the way you breathe feels more settled, more grounded, like you are no longer bracing for impact. You did not wake up one morning and decide to change. That is the interesting part. This shift did not come from effort. It came from release. You stopped chasing balance, and somehow, balance began to follow you. There was a time when you bent yourself into shapes just to keep the peace, when you measured every word, when you absorbed emotions that were never meant to be yours. You told yourself that was strength, and for a while, it was. But something inside you quietly reached its limit, not in anger, not in bitterness, just in truth. And when that happened, something ancient within you stirred, a softer power, a calmer confidence, the kind that does not need approval to exist. You may have noticed people responding differently now. Conversations linger, eyes stay on you a second longer. Your absence is felt when you leave a room, not because you demand attention, but because your energy no longer leaks. You are no longer explaining yourself into exhaustion. And that changes everything. This is not the loud kind of transformation people applaud. This is the kind that rewrites your internal atmosphere, the kind that makes life lean toward you instead of pushing back. You are stepping into a phase where your presence does the talking, and your nervous system finally believes it is safe to rest. If you have felt more selective lately, that is not you closing off. That is discernment returning. If you have felt less reactive, that is not apathy. That is peace settling into your bones. You are not becoming colder. You are becoming clearer. There is a glow that comes from alignment, not the kind that flashes, the kind that warms, the kind people trust instinctively. And Libra, that glow is beginning to surround you again. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to justify it. You do not need to rush it. What is unfolding inside you is natural, earned, timed perfectly. And as we move deeper into this message, I want you to listen not with your expectations, but with your body. Notice where you feel calm. Notice where something soft opens in your chest. Those are your signals. Those are the places where truth is landing, because this is only the surface of what is shifting for you. The story does not jump forward, it deepens. And right beneath this quiet change you have been feeling, there is something growing, something tangible, something that carries weight in the real world, something that will shape where you are headed next, without forcing you to lose who you are. So take a breath, stay present. We are just beginning to step into the light of it now. Libra, let me stay right here with you, because once that quiet shift settles in, something else begins to rise. And this part is subtle, but it carries weight. You may not have named it yet, but you can feel it in the way you take your time now, in the way you no longer rush to accept what does not truly match you. There is a deeper sense of worth forming beneath your choices, not the loud kind of confidence, the grounded kind. What is growing around you is not small, and it is not fragile, it is steady, earned, built from moments where you chose yourself when it would have been easier not to. You might notice it first in practical ways, a conversation that suddenly takes you seriously, an opportunity that feels more intentional, a door that does not swing open randomly, but opens because someone sees what you bring to the table. This is not luck passing by, this is alignment responding. You have been investing in something, sometimes knowingly, sometimes without realizing it, every boundary you held, every skill you refined in silence, every time you stayed true instead of shrinking to be agreeable. Those moments stacked quietly, and now they are beginning to show. What you are stepping into has longevity. It is not a quick win meant to disappear. It is the kind of foundation that can support you months from now, years from now, in ways that let you breathe easier. You may feel a pull toward the horizon, a sense that your life is no longer confined to what is right in front of you. There is vision here, not ambition driven by pressure, but direction guided by self-respect. And if you pause and listen closely, you will notice that your decisions feel calmer now, less reactive, more intentional. You are choosing based on value, not validation. That is a powerful shift for you, Libra, because your worth is no longer tied to being needed. It is anchored in what you consistently bring into the world. Your insight, your balance, your ability to see multiple sides without losing yourself in the process. People sense that, even if they cannot explain it. They begin to treat your time as valuable, your voice as relevant, your presence as something that matters. And this is where many Libras feel a quiet fear surface, not because they doubt themselves, but because stepping into greater value means stepping into visibility. So, if you feel yourself hesitating, that is okay. You are not pulling back, you are orienting yourself to a larger space. There is no rush here. The path ahead is not asking you to abandon who you are. It is asking you to trust that who you are is enough to carry you forward. What you are building now is meant to travel with you, across seasons, across chapters, across versions of yourself. And as this sense of value continues to solidify, you may feel your gaze lifting, not to escape the present, but to recognize that the road ahead holds more than you once allowed yourself to imagine. Something is forming just beyond your current view, not as a promise, but as a possibility that responds to your readiness. So, keep listening to what feels steady inside you. Keep honoring the direction that feels expansive, not forced. Because as this unfolds, the story does not get louder, it gets clearer. And that clarity is about to show you how far you are truly meant to go. Libra, let us stay right here together, because once you recognize your value, something quietly powerful begins to happen. You stop waiting. Not because you are impatient, but because a deeper knowing has settled into you. There was a time when you hoped things would align, when you watched for signs, when you trusted that if it was meant for you, it would simply arrive. And now you move differently, not rushed, not forced, but deliberate. You are no longer asking the universe to choose for you. You are choosing how to meet it. I can hear it in the way your thoughts have sharpened, the way your focus holds longer, the way your energy no longer scatters into 10 different directions just to keep everyone comfortable. You are shaping something now, with your hands, with your time, with your attention. It may not look dramatic from the outside, but inside, it feels solid, like you finally understand where your effort actually belongs. You have been refining yourself quietly, learning what works, letting go of what does not, making adjustments that only someone deeply self-aware would even notice. And that is why this phase matters, because what you are creating is not built on wishful thinking. It is built on clarity. You know what you are capable of, you know what you are offering, and you know the difference between movement and progress now. This is not the energy of waiting for permission. This is the energy of alignment meeting action. You might feel moments of doubt still rise. That is natural. Growth always stretches the nervous system before it stabilizes. But notice this, even when doubt appears, you do not stop. You adjust, you refine, you continue. That is the mark of real manifestation, not forcing outcomes, but staying engaged long enough for them to take shape. You are working with the right tools now, not just external resources, but inner ones, discernment, timing, intuition grounded in experience. You are no longer trying to become someone else. You are learning how to use what you already are, and that is why things begin to respond. Opportunities feel more precise, feedback feels more constructive, progress feels earned instead of accidental. There is something deeply stabilizing about this stage for you, Libra, because for the first time in a long while, your actions and your inner truth are moving in the same direction. No friction, no self-betrayal, just momentum that feels clean. If you feel tired some days, that does not mean you are off track. It means you are building something real, and real things take presence. What you are creating now is not loud, but it is alive, growing quietly each day through consistency and intention. And here's the part I want you to feel in your body. You are not pushing this forward alone. As you commit to what you are building, the world begins to meet you halfway. Not dramatically, not all at once, but steadily. You may start to sense a shift in timing, moments lining up without effort, support appearing without you having to ask. That is how you know you are in rhythm. So, stay with what feels purposeful. Stay with what feels grounded. Stay with the version of you who no longer needs to rush the outcome to feel secure. Because as this creation continues to take form, something else is preparing to move, not from within you this time, but around you. A subtle turn in circumstances, a quiet opening, a sense that the direction of your life is beginning to respond to the work you have been doing. And when that movement becomes noticeable, you will understand why everything up to this point needed your patience. Just breathe, stay present. We are about to feel that shift together. Libra, stay close with me here, because this is the moment where the air itself begins to feel different around you. You may not have seen it clearly at first, but you felt it. That subtle easing, like the pressure you carried for so long, has finally begun to lift without you having to fight for it. Something is turning now, not suddenly, not violently, but with intention. For a long time, it felt like you were walking against the current. Every step required effort. Every decision came with weight. Even the smallest choices seemed to demand more energy than they should have. And yet, you kept moving. You did not collapse. You did not give up your integrity. You learned how to keep going without hardening your heart. That matters more than you know, because the wheel does not turn randomly. It responds to endurance, to timing, to the quiet resilience of someone who stayed awake through their own storms. You are not being rescued by luck. You are being met by momentum. There is a difference. What begins to shift now is not just one area of your life. It is the relationship between effort and outcome, between what you give and what comes back. You may notice that things stop resisting you as much, that delays shorten, that conversations move forward instead of circling endlessly. It is not that life suddenly became easy. It is that the road finally recognizes you. Financially, emotionally, directionally, something loosens its grip, not all at once, but enough for you to breathe, enough for you to see ahead again. And there is relief in that, Libra, a deep one, the kind that settles into your shoulders, the kind that lets your body stop bracing for disappointment. You earned this opening. You learned discernment through confusion. You learned patience through uncertainty. You learned balance when nothing around you felt balanced at all. Those lessons were not wasted time. They were preparation. Now, the timing begins to respond. Opportunities do not feel rushed or chaotic. They arrive with a sense of rightness, of alignment, like pieces clicking into place without force. You might catch yourself thinking, finally, this makes sense. And when that thought arrives, do not dismiss it. It is your intuition recognizing a shift in the current. This is a season where doors open because you are ready to walk through them, not because you chase them down, not because you beg to be seen, but because you learned how to stand steady when everything felt uncertain. The wheel turning in your favor does not mean you forget the past. It means the past stops defining your future. What once felt like obstacles now become reference points, proof of how far you have come, markers of growth instead of wounds. And as this movement continues, you may feel something else awaken, a quiet excitement, a sense that life is no longer something happening to you. It is responding to you. So, if you find yourself hesitating before the next step, that is okay. You are not afraid of failure anymore. You are adjusting to possibility. Let that settle. Because this turn is not asking you to rush forward, it is inviting you to walk with awareness, with trust, with the calm knowing that you are no longer out of sync with your path. And as the road opens just a little more, something else begins to approach. Not from fate this time, but through connection, a message, an invitation, a moment of exchange that carries warmth and meaning. So, keep your heart open, not wide, but present. Because what is coming next does not interrupt your journey. It joins it. Libra, come a little closer with me now, because this is where the energy softens, and at the same time becomes unmistakably real. After the shift, after the turning of the road, something begins to move toward you, not loudly, not urgently, but with intention. It feels like a gentle knock, a message that does not demand your attention, yet somehow stays with you. You may notice it arrive as a feeling before it becomes words, a warmth in your chest, a quiet sense of being seen. This is the kind of moment that does not rush in to impress you. It arrives with sincerity. You might receive news that lands differently than you expected. Not overwhelming, but affirming. The kind that makes you pause and breathe out, realizing something inside you has been waiting for this confirmation. Or perhaps it comes as an invitation, a conversation that feels unusually honest, a proposal that carries respect, an exchange where you sense that you are being met as an equal, not a convenience. And if love has been on your heart, Libra, this energy can move through connection, not dramatic romance, but something deeper. A presence that feels safe enough to open with, someone who listens between your words, someone who does not rush your softness. This is not about being rescued. It is about resonance. And that is why it matters. Because whatever approaches you now carries a feeling of mutual recognition. You are not chasing it. It is not convincing you. It is meeting you in the space you have prepared. You may notice how different this feels compared to the past. There is less tension, less second guessing, more clarity. You are not wondering if you deserve it. You are noticing whether it aligns. That alone tells me how much you have grown. If this shows up through opportunity, it may ask you to step into a role that reflects who you have become, not who you used to be. It may see your insight, your steadiness, your ability to bring harmony without sacrificing truth. And if it shows up through connection, it may feel emotionally clean, not complicated, not draining, but nourishing. The Ace of Cups energy here is gentle, Libra. It does not flood you, it fills you. It reminds you what it feels like to receive without armor. And the Knight of Cups moves with intention, not rushing, not retreating, but offering something meaningful. This is the kind of moment that shifts your relationship with the future, because it shows you that what lies ahead does not have to cost you your peace. You may find yourself imagining possibilities again, not fantasies, but grounded hopes. What if this works? What if I allow myself to say yes? What if this is the beginning of a new tone in my life? Let those thoughts come. Do not push them away. They are not distractions. They are signals. And as you sit with this energy, I want you to notice something important. You are not being asked to leap. You are being invited to step. One honest step, one open conversation, one moment of allowing yourself to be received. That is how this unfolds. And as this present settles in your life, you may feel another shift begin to stir. Not outside this time, but within your courage. A willingness to try something new, to respond instead of retreat, to move forward even when certainty is not guaranteed. So, stay with that feeling. Let it warm you. Because what comes next is not about what arrives, it is about how you choose to meet it. And that choice, Libra, is quietly preparing you for the next chapter of this story. Libra, stay right here with me, because this is the moment where courage starts to whisper, not the loud kind, not the reckless kind, but the quiet bravery that shows up when you realize staying the same would cost you more than trying something new. You may have felt it recently, that internal pause before a decision. That small hesitation where you asked yourself, is this really me now? Or am I just afraid to move? You are not rushing forward. You are testing the ground, feeling where it is solid, noticing where it gives way. And that is wisdom. For a long time, you protected what you had built. You endured. You held your position. You learned how to keep going even when you were tired. That strength is still with you. But now, it is being asked to evolve. You are standing at the edge of something unfamiliar, a new approach, a different role, a path that you did not originally plan for, but somehow keeps calling your attention. Not because it promises comfort, but because it feels honest. There is a spark here, a quiet excitement beneath the caution, a sense that if you do not try, you will always wonder. And Libra, wondering can be heavier than failing. You might notice old fears rise as you consider this step. What if it does not work? What if I misjudge this? What if I lose the balance I fought so hard to regain? But listen closely. You are not the same person who tried before. You carry more experience now, more discernment, more self-trust. The risk in front of you is not reckless. It is calculated through growth. You are not burning bridges. You are building a new one. There may be moments where you feel stretched, where effort feels heavy again, where you question whether the timing is right. That does not mean you chose wrong. It means you are alive inside the process. The Page of Wands energy here is curiosity meeting action. It is the willingness to explore without needing certainty, to move forward without knowing the entire map. And the Nine of Wands reminds you that resilience does not disappear just because you choose something new. It comes with you. You have already survived what once felt impossible. This next step is not here to break you. It is here to show you how capable you truly are. If you have already taken this risk, even in a small way, let this land. Good thing you did. The effort you put in now is not wasted, even if the results unfold slowly, even if the path requires adjustment. What matters is that you said yes to your own expansion, and that choice changes the way the future responds to you. Because once you show life that you are willing to meet it halfway, it begins to meet you back, not all at once, not without effort, but with momentum that feels earned. You may start to see signs that this decision mattered. Subtle confirmations, small wins, moments where you realize you would not trade this growth for the comfort you left behind. Hold on to that. Let it anchor you when doubt tries to return. Because this risk is not about proving anything to anyone else. It is about honoring the part of you that knew it was time. And as you continue forward, something deeper begins to take shape, not just around your actions, but around what you choose to protect now. Your time, your energy, your vision. There is something you are about to claim more fully. Something you will no longer let slip through your hands. And as that realization settles in, the story naturally moves again, toward clarity, toward ownership, toward a strength that does not need permission. Stay with that feeling, because what comes next is about holding your ground in a way you never have before. Libra, let me slow this moment down with you, because what is happening now is not about movement, it is about ownership. There is something you are holding on to differently these days, not with fear, not with tension, but with intention. You know what it cost you to arrive here. Every compromise you questioned. Every night you stayed awake weighing the right choice. Every time you chose integrity over approval, that work mattered. And now you feel it in your body, a quiet firmness, a sense that what you are building is not up for negotiation. This is not defensiveness, this is clarity. You are no longer explaining why something matters to you. You are simply protecting it. Your time, your direction, your vision for your life. There is a difference. In the past, you may have given access too easily. Let others handle pieces of your dream without understanding its weight. Trusted voices that spoke confidently but did not carry your values. That season taught you discernment, and now you move with a steadier hand. You are not closing your heart. You are placing it where it can be honored. There is strength in that, Libra. A quiet authority that does not need to announce itself. You may notice that your decisions come faster now, not because you rush, but because the fog has lifted. You know what aligns, you know what does not, and you no longer hesitate to choose accordingly. The Ace of Swords energy here is clean. It cuts through confusion without cruelty. It brings truth without chaos. You are seeing your situation clearly, and with that clarity comes confidence. Not the loud kind, the grounded kind that makes others take you seriously. People sense it when someone knows where they stand. They feel it in the way you speak, the way you pause before responding, the way you do not over-explain. Your presence carries weight now. And yes, Libra, you are being seen. Not because you asked to be, but because your alignment makes you visible. Recognition does not always arrive as applause. Sometimes it comes as respect, as being trusted with responsibility, as having your words land where they once floated past, unheard. You may find that others look to you for clarity, for perspective, for balance that does not bend under pressure. This is not coincidence. It is the result of you choosing yourself consistently, even when it felt uncomfortable. There is a moment in every growth cycle where protection becomes sacred, where you realize that not everything needs to be shared, not everyone needs access. That does not make you distant, it makes you wise. You are learning how to hold your ground without hardening, to protect what is yours without closing off to connection. That balance is your gift. And as this clarity anchors deeper, something else begins to surface. A sense of completion, not an ending, but a settling, like standing on solid ground after a long crossing. You may feel a quiet pride arise, not ego, but recognition of your own journey. Let yourself feel that, because acknowledging your growth does not diminish humility. It honors truth, And as this chapter steadies, the story prepares to close its circle, not with noise, but with presence. With the understanding that the changes you made internally are now visible externally. You do not need to prove anything. Your energy already has. And as we move toward the final moments of this message, I want you to stay with this feeling of grounded strength, this sense of being fully in your own space. Because what comes next is not about becoming more. It is about recognizing how far you have already come, and allowing that recognition to gently complete the story. Libra, let me bring this gently home with you, not as a conclusion, but as a quiet recognition. Because by now, you have probably felt it in your own way, that subtle shift in how the world responds when you walk into it. Not dramatic, not announced, just undeniable. People notice you before they realize they are noticing you. Their attention lingers, their tone softens. Their questions carry more weight. Not because you are trying to be seen, but because you are no longer hiding parts of yourself to keep the peace. Something about you has changed, and it did not happen overnight. It happened through patience, through restraint, through choosing integrity when no one was watching. Your value is not rising because you demanded recognition. It is rising because you stopped negotiating your worth, and that changes how energy moves around you. Opportunities begin to find you without chasing. Conversations open without force. Respect arrives quietly, but it stays. This is what happens when alignment becomes visible. You may still feel like the same person inside, but the way you carry yourself now tells a different story. There is less effort, less explanation, more presence. Your silence speaks with clarity. Your words land with intention. Your choices create space instead of confusion, and that presence is louder than anything you could say. You do not need to prove your growth. People feel it. They sense the steadiness in you, the balance that no longer bends under pressure, the calm confidence that does not need permission. That is why eyes turn toward you now, why invitations feel more genuine, why recognition shows up without you having to ask for it. You are not becoming someone else. You are becoming visible as yourself, and that matters, because visibility without alignment feels empty. But visibility grounded in truth feels powerful. There may still be moments when you doubt this, moments when the old instinct to shrink whispers back in, when you wonder if being seen will cost you something. Let me remind you of this. You have already paid the price of being unseen. You have already carried the weight of silence. This time, being visible brings relief, not attention for attention's sake, but acknowledgement that feels deserved. You are allowed to take up space now, not loudly, but fully. And as this chapter settles, you may notice something else, a deep sense of calm where urgency used to live, a trust in your timing, a knowing that you no longer have to push life forward. It is responding to you. This is not the end of the story, Libra. It is the moment where the story begins to reflect you back to yourself. So stay grounded in who you are becoming. Stay honest with what you value. Stay present in the way you move through the world, because the recognition you are receiving is not fleeting. It is the natural result of alignment. You do not need to raise your voice. You do not need to explain your worth. Your energy already has. And as you carry that awareness with you, allow yourself to be curious about what unfolds next, not with urgency, but with trust, because this shift is not passing through your life. It is settling in. Libra, before you go, I want you to sit with this feeling for just a few more breaths. Not the words, the feeling, that quiet recognition in your chest, that moment where something inside you whispered, "Yes, this is me." Nothing about this shift needs to be rushed. Nothing about it needs to be explained to anyone else, because what is changing in you now is not surface level. It is foundational. You are not here by accident. You did not find this message randomly. You found it because something in you was ready to hear it. And if there is one thing I want you to take with you after this video, it is this. You do not need to dim yourself to stay balanced anymore. Your balance now comes from truth, from alignment, from trusting the version of you who finally chose themselves. If this message touched you, even in a quiet way, leave a comment below. You do not have to explain everything. Even a few words is enough. Your voice matters here. And if you are feeling called to stay connected, like this video, subscribe to the channel, not just for messages, but for reminders like this, that you are not walking this path alone. This space is for Libras who are growing without losing their softness, who are becoming visible without becoming hardened, who are learning that peace and power can exist together. Trust yourself as you move forward. Trust the timing that is unfolding around you, and trust that what is meant to meet you will do so without force. This journey is not over. In many ways, it is just beginning. There is another message coming, another layer, another moment of clarity waiting to find you. Until then, stay grounded, stay open, and remember, you do not need to raise your voice to be heard. Your energy already speaks. I will see you in the next message.